My dear brothers and sisters, what if I told you that the future is not a distant dream, but a whisper already echoing in our midst? What if, right now, in this very moment, the year 2025 holds secrets that could shake the foundations of our world? Imagine standing at the edge of history with a choice: to ignore the signs or to listen with an open heart. Today, I invite you to join me on a journey that will leave you breathless. A tale of prophecy, mystery, and a hope that burns brighter than fear. As the Gospel of Matthew reminds us, "Watch, therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour." Buckle up, my friends, because this story about 2025 will grip your soul and demand your attention. Are you ready? In the early 1900s, in a quiet corner of Wisconsin, a child was born who would see beyond the veil of time. Her name was Jean Dixon, and from her earliest days, she carried a gift that defied explanation. At 5 years old, she begged her mother for an envelope with a black border, her tiny voice insistent, her eyes alight with knowing. Her mother, puzzled, dismissed it, until 10 days later, when a letter arrived, edged in black, bearing news of her grandfather's death. At 7, Jean turned to her mother with a spark of joy. "Daddy's bringing home a big dog, black and white." No one had spoken of a dog, yet days later, her father returned with exactly such a creature. These were not childish fancies. They were glimpses of a divine mystery, as if God himself had touched her soul with a vision. As Psalm 139 declares, "Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written all the days ordained for me." Jean's days were ordained for something extraordinary. Her gift grew sharper with time, like a flame that could not be dimmed. In 1911, her parents took her to an Egyptian palm reader, a woman renowned for unveiling destinies. The seer studied Jean's small hand, then froze, her eyes wide with awe. "This child," she said, "will be a prophet, a seer across time." She handed Jean a crystal ball, and in that moment, something shifted. Jean gazed at the woman and whispered, "Be careful with the stove. You're about to burn yourself." Days later, a kitchen accident confirmed her words. The seer was stunned, but Jean was only beginning. She foresaw her brother's rise as a football legend, a prediction laughed off until, a decade later, he became one of America's greatest athletes. Her gift was no mere talent. It was a calling, a burden, a light. As Jesus said, "No one lights a lamp and puts it under a basket." Jean's lamp would shine for the world to see. Now, let us step into a moment that would etch Jean's name into history. It was January 10th, 1942, in a glittering salon where America's elite gathered. Jean approached Carole Lombard, an actress whose star burned bright, her laughter filling the room. With a voice trembling with urgency, Jean said, "Please, do not fly in the next 6 months. Your life is in danger." Carole, ever gracious, smiled and replied, "I have a flight in a few days, but I'll be fine." 6 days later, on January 16th, 1942, her plane crashed into a mountain, killing all aboard. The news sent shockwaves through the nation, but for Jean, it was a wound. She had seen the tragedy, yet could not stop it. This was not her only warning. She foresaw the fall of leaders, the rise of nations, and moments that would change history. Her life reminds us of Jeremiah's cry, "If I say, I will not mention him, then there is in my heart a burning fire shut up in my bones." Jean could not silence the fire within her. Let us journey to 1944 when the United States stood at a crossroads. The Great Depression had scarred the nation, and Franklin D. Roosevelt, the president who carried its hopes, was weary. His health faltered, yet his resolve held firm. One November morning, Jean received a call, "The president wishes to see you." She arrived at the White House, where Roosevelt, his eyes heavy with the weight of leadership, asked, "How much longer do I have?" Jean's voice was steady, no more than 6 months. On April 12, 1945, Roosevelt passed away exactly as she foretold. Years earlier, she had predicted that Harry S. Truman, then a humble senator, would become president, a vision fulfilled when he took office. These moments echo Ecclesiastes, there is a time for every purpose under heaven. Jean's visions revealed the time even when the world turned away. But the prophecy that shook the world came in 1956 when Jean wrote in Parade magazine that the 1960 Democratic nominee would win the presidency only to be assassinated in office. Few paid attention until John F. Kennedy was elected. In 1963, Jean's visions grew darker, a black cloud over the White House, a name with 5 or 6 letters, starting with O and S, and a final letter curved like a hook. On November 22, 1963, Kennedy was killed in Dallas, and the name Lee Harvey Oswald stunned the nation. The O, the S, the D like a hook, it was exact. The press dubbed her the Seer of Washington, and her name became a beacon of mystery. As the gospel warns, be vigilant at all times. Jean's life was a call to vigilance, a plea to see the signs before us. Now, my friends, we come to the heart of the story, the year 2025, a year Jean Dixon spoke of with a gravity that chills the soul. In her book, The Call to Glory, she foresaw a war in 2020, not of bullets, but of disease. When COVID-19 ravaged the world, many saw her words come alive. But 2025, she said, would be a bloody turning point, a clash between China and Russia, not for land, but for the soul of humanity. She saw China rising victorious, reshaping the world. Today, in 2025, no such war has erupted, but the world trembles with new tensions and economic battle between East and West, whispers of power shifts. Could Jean have seen this very moment, cloaked in symbols we are only now decoding? The book of Daniel speaks of visions sealed until the time of the end. Perhaps we are living in that time, called to seek truth with courage. But let us pause, my dear friends, and ask ourselves, what does it mean to hear a prophecy? Is it a sentence of doom or a call to awaken? Jean Dixon's visions of 2025 were not meant to bind us in fear, but to stir our hearts to hope. She spoke of a turning point, a moment when humanity would stand at a crossroads. And she was not alone. Across the world, in the land of Japan, another voice echoed her warning, weaving a tapestry of mystery that draws us deeper into this story. As we journey on, let us hold fast to the words of Isaiah. Fear not, for I am with you. I will strengthen you. I will help you. Let us seek the strength to face what lies ahead. In 1999, a Japanese manga artist named Tatsuki Fujimoto published a work titled The Future I Saw. It was no ordinary graphic novel, but a collection of 15 prophetic dreams, each one a brushstroke painting the destiny of the world. 14 of these dreams have already come to pass: earthquakes that shattered cities, economic tides that swept nations, moments that left humanity reeling. But it is the 15th dream, the one yet to unfold, that grips us now. Tatsuki wrote of July 5, 2025, a date when a cataclysm greater than Japan's devastating 2011 earthquake would strike the South China Sea. She saw a new landmass rising from the ocean, a bridge of earth connecting Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and the Philippines. Imagine it, a force so mighty it reshapes the very map of the world. Could this be the turning point Jean Dixon foresaw, cloaked in a different form? The book of Revelation speaks of a new heaven and a new earth. Are we on the cusp of such a transformation? This prophecy alone would be enough to stir the soul, but the story grows stranger still. In 2009, on a Japanese internet forum, a user claiming to be a time traveler from the year 2062 appeared with a chilling message. Before the March 11, 2011 earthquake that claimed thousands of lives, this figure urged residents to flee to higher ground. Many dismissed it as a prank, yet when the tsunami struck, those who heeded the warning survived. In 2022, the same figure returned, posting again, "The South China Sea will not be calm. Prepare for something never seen before." In July 2025. The post went viral, shared across platforms, debated in whispers and shouts. Was this a hoax or a voice from beyond our time? The Gospel of Luke reminds us, the kingdom of God is not coming with signs to be observed, but is among you. Perhaps the signs are already among us, waiting for eyes to see. Let us step back and reflect. Jean Dixon, Tatsuki Fujimoto, a mysterious time traveler, three voices separated by oceans and decades pointing to the same year, the same moment. Is it coincidence or something greater? Jean's vision of a clash in Asia, Tatsuki's dream of a rising land, the time traveler's warning of an unprecedented event. These threads weave a tapestry that demands our attention. And yet, there is more. In her later writings, Jean Dixon spoke of a figure who would emerge in 2025, a soul of boundless love and compassion destined to heal the wounds of a fractured world. She saw this figure not as a king or conqueror, but as a light in the darkness, uniting humanity in a time of trial. Could this be the hope that balances the warnings? As St. John writes, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Even in the shadow of prophecy, there is a promise of light. Now, my brothers and sisters, let us turn our gaze to the world around us. As we stand in 2025, the air is thick with tension, economic battles between superpowers, whispers of technological leaps that could redefine life, and a planet crying out under the weight of change. Social media buzzes with predictions, from TikTok seers to X posts claiming insider knowledge of what's to come. Yet, amidst the noise, one truth remains: prophecy is not a chain, but a choice. If a disaster looms, we can prepare. If a light is promised, we can seek it. Jesus taught us in the parable of the talents, to whom much is given, much is required. We have been given these warnings, these visions. What will we do with them? Will we scroll past, or will we pause and ask, what is God calling us to in this moment? Let me share a secret with you, a whisper from the heart of the story. Prophecy is not about predicting the end, but about beginning anew. Jean Dixon once said, "The future is not set in stone, but shaped by our hands." She believed that every vision carried a purpose: to warn, to guide, to inspire. When she foresaw the tragedy of Carol Lombard, she tried to save her. When she spoke to Roosevelt, she offered truth, though it pained her. Her life was a testament to the power of love in the face of fate. And so, as we face 2025, I ask you, what will you choose? If the South China Sea trembles, will you reach out to your neighbor? If a new dawn rises, will you walk toward it with hope? The book of Proverbs tells us, the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Let us plan with courage, trusting that God will guide our steps. As we draw this journey to a close, I invite you to look within. Have you ever had a dream that felt too real, a moment when time seemed to pause, a whisper in your heart that you couldn't explain? Perhaps you too have glimpsed the mystery of tomorrow. Share your story in the comments below, your dreams, your fears, your hopes for 2025. Let us build a community of light where no one walks alone. If this tale has stirred your soul, if it has made you question, wonder, or believe, then like this video, subscribe, and share it with those you love. Together, we can prepare not for the storm, but for the promise that follows. As Psalm 46 proclaims, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Let us hold fast to that refuge, my friends, and face the future with unshakable hope. Until we meet again, may peace be with you and may love guide your way.